switch gears a bit. Reason for this is because I think the bigger issue is not just about you, me, but really the landscape by which we operate in. And I have many roles, and I'd like to just share with you that you need to look at it from a business imperative as well. And as a commercial entity, one of the things that matters to us is talent. And in Singapore especially, looking at the employment or unemployment rate, whichever way you want to look at it, talent is extremely scarce. So from that perspective, the ability then to harness talent from all segments where talent exists is an important factor. And I'm glad my organization recognizes that, but most organizations who value diversity recognize talent. The second thing is, the point I made earlier is about talent and getting the best talent. 51, and I know Singapore, we don't do that anymore, but I think it's roughly about 51% of the population are female. 43% is in the workforce. Is that good? Is that bad? I think that's pretty decent. But the point is, if we ignore this talent base, we're ignoring a significant talent pool in a market that is extremely scarce. And that would be, it's not a matter whether women are better, men are better, but the fact is you've ignored a whole segment of the population that could provide you with talent. And that, if you want to succeed in business, is not a very smart thing to do. Bill Gates, although he doesn't look like this anymore, is an inspiration to all of us in Microsoft. And the reason is not just because he dares to think big and put big ideas across, but he recognized, and we still recognize it today, that if you want to innovate, and in a technology company like ours, you have to make sure that you get a diversity of talent. Because if you have people who are bright, intelligent, but all think the same way, you're not going to get ideas. So it's not just about a gender thing, but why is it so prominent in our radar? It's because women are still, if you look at all statistics, we're not really optimizing that base. But again, this whole business imperative. So I'm telling you, it's not about doing the right thing. It's really understanding that it's the smart thing to do as well. Steve Ballmer, this is my CEO. Steve Ballmer, great guy, funny guy. He's just in Singapore recently to celebrate our 20th anniversary. But besides diversity and inclusion being a core value for us, what Steve is saying here, and we live this every day, is we realize as a company that's serving an external market, meaning our customers and our partners, it's also an important factor beyond just getting innovation in our company. In order to understand our marketplace, we have to have people who understand that. So if you don't hire a majority of the population and help them to do the best work, you're actually not, again, able to understand the market you're trying to serve. So that's an important factor. And that's one of the reasons why diversity is, and women talent is something we pay a lot of attention to. And let me tell you this, it has to be deliberate. We don't like numbers, but we still look at the statistics. Because we're not about representation, we don't like that. But we actually have to track it. Because the very fact that women are not there in terms of numbers tells us that there are still things that need to be done to allow that segment of the population to be able to do their best work. And for us, as a business, we realize that unless we allow people to do their best work, we don't benefit as well. So I always tell people, we think Microsoft is a great company. Yes, we are, but we do it also from a win-win perspective. Okay. And this is what I think about as the leader in this market in Singapore, is about talent, but not just talent for its sake, but really about the innovation, the ability to understand and mirror the market that I operate in, that my customers and partners have to be served. And then, of course, in a very important point, it's not about just that point in time. It's about sustainability, ensuring that we have continuity and are able to address the business, the ability to grow with the business as well. So let me just share with you those points. Sorry, this thing is not very sensitive. Okay? Are we there? No. Why? I mean, if I looked, someone in, say, my counterpart in Korea might say, if he had these statistics, it'd be good. But numbers are numbers for its sake, but we look at the market. And today, we're only 34% female. The market is about 43, 44, thereabouts. And we also don't look at just our women population. We consciously look also at our female leaders, both at the people manager level, as well as we look at the female leaders. And here I'm talking about my direct reports, the director level and above. The reason for that is, again, sustainability. In order to be able to address this on a sustainable manner and to manage that talent pool, you not only need women leaders. So I always say it's not about, sometimes people tell me, Jessica, oh, it's great, you're leading. And I said, yes, but I'm just one person. How do you sustain that? Tomorrow I could get hit by a car. So what happens? So you have to have good succession planning. You have to do it very consciously, and a good slate in that succession planning. And a very important thing, why do we look at the total population? Why do we want to mirror that market? Because first, I told you, we're not getting the talent pool we're not tapping the talent pool. But more importantly, it's about building pipeline. You have to have that base in order to be able to permutate up and have female leaders and sustain that.